Now, once a storm this size goes through Sydney, we get the aftermath and we get the roof inquiries, we get the phone calls. And very often the inquiries are about the gutters overflowing because obviously the homeowners can go outside when it's raining and they see a waterfall where their gutters are and they go, well, my gutters are overflowing, there's something wrong. And the first question we get asked when we get on site is, are my gutters undersized? Why are they overflowing? And what is the most common answer to this question? Well, you may be surprised. We'll get to that a bit later on. But before we go into the sizing of your gutters and whether they're actually the correct size, undersized or oversized, we've got to look at the logic behind eaves gutters. Now, we spoke about box gutters in a previous episode, and box gutters are a lot more critical because if the box gutters overflow, you get a lot of damage inside the house. Eaves gutters are a little bit different. They're along the edges of your roof. So if the eaves gutters overflow, there's a less likely chance that you'll get damage inside the house. Well, the regulators, when they approached this problem, looked at sizing the eaves gutters for something that makes common sense, right? So it means that the gutters at some point in time will overflow because you cannot design a gutter that will never overflow because the gutter will be so big. So that's quite illogical. So what they decided on was to design on an AEP, which is an annual exceedance probability of 5% and a 5-minute duration, which means that in any 5-minute duration, anytime during the year, there's a 5% chance that this amount of rainfall will be exceeded. So what this means is in any 1 year, there's 95% chance that the rain's not going to be big enough to exceed this design capacity. And if you are in Sydney, like we are, this figure that we're looking at, the 5% AEP, is 171 millimeters per hour. Now the question is, what happens in that 5% of the time when the rainfall actually exceeds this figure of 171? Well, in this case, then the gutter is allowed to overflow. So if your gutters do overflow and it's a real torrential rain, and perhaps it's more than that 5% AEP and your gutters overflow, it's not that your gutters haven't been installed or designed according to the code. It's because in this particular instance, your gutters have been designed to overflow. So there's nothing wrong with overflowing gutters. Now, where there's a problem with overflowing gutters is that every time it rains, your gutter overflows. Now, if that happens, then it's quite likely that there's something wrong with your gutter. So if that happens in your house, is your gutter undersized? Now, to answer that question, we've got an example here where there's a roof, it's got gutters. In this instance, it's the old style low front gutters. And every time it rains heavy, the gutter overflows. So we were called in to look at the gutters to see what we can do about it. Now, from a theory point of view, what we did was go through this roof and went through the actual design considerations of this roof. We were using the 171 millimeters per hour AEP for Sydney. We worked out the roof area, and then we worked out what the minimum gutter size was. And then we also worked out what the minimum downpipe size was. And then we also worked out how many downpipes we needed. So we worked out all these different endpoints to figure out whether these gutters actually complied to the code, whether the gutters were undersized or not. Now, as you can see, after we've done all the calculations, the gutters on this particular roof are well oversized. Right? But why are the gutters still overflowing? Well, in our experience, there's basically two very common reasons why gutters overflow. The first one is that the downpipes don't work. Why don't they work? Well, typically because the downpipes clogged up. You've got leaves and the leaves block the downpipe, then the gutter will just fill up. The water doesn't go down the downpipe, and when the gutter fills up, it overflows. So it's not the gutter's problem, it's a maintenance issue, it's the downpipe. You clear the downpipe and the gutter is not going to overflow anymore. Now, associated with this particular problem are that along the length of the gutter, there could be a lot of debris sitting in the gutter. Now, especially if your gutter has got internal supports, which means that the gutter is held up by internal brackets, leaves get caught on the internal brackets, and because the leaves can't get washed through to where the downpipe is, it doesn't clear itself, and you get blockages everywhere you've got an internal bracket. And that means water can't get to the downpipe, and then you get water overflowing. So debris blocking the downpipe or debris blocking the actual gutter itself will cause the overflow. That's one very common reason. The other common reason is obviously it's been installed properly. Now, all eaves gutters has to be installed to a minimum 1 in 500 fall. Now, I'm not totally correct in that, because you could say that, what about the new line gutters, the fascia gutters? Well, fascia gutters have to be installed dead level, and they're designed to actually hold water. But other types of gutters, the most common type of gutters, are designed to be installed with a fall, minimum 1 in 500. The reason is that you want water to fall from the high point all the way to the downpipe, and it doesn't pond any water. So the capacity of the gutter hasn't been compromised, because if your gutter is either flat or it's got a drip in the middle, then it's already filled up full of water before any water escapes the downpipes. So incorrect installation is usually the second most common reason why your eaves gutters would overflow. Now, having gotten to this point, the next question that a lot of people will ask is, what sort of gutters should I have on my roof? Well, in Sydney nowadays, the quad gutter and ace gutters here in Sydney, I would say, dominate the market in quad gutters. So most roofs have quad gutters, and these quad gutters are of the high front type with overflow holes. Now, a long time ago, before high front gutters came into fashion, all the gutters were of the low front type. And with a low front gutter, the intention is that when the water fills up the gutter in an overflow situation, the water will overflow the front of the gutter, because the front of the gutter is a little bit lower or about the same height as the back of the gutter. So when the water fills up, the water overflows the front. Now, the problem with the traditional low front gutters is that when you have a very long gutter and you try to install it to a fall, you'll get the problem where at the lowest point of the gutter, where the downpipes are, the gutter is so low that the edge of the roof is higher than the front of the gutter. What happens is that when rain comes, the water comes off your roof, and because the front of the gutter is lower than where your roof is, water will shoot over the front of the gutter and won't even go into the gutter. So in a very long installation of roof, the low front gutter, the traditional low front gutter, had that limitation. It just couldn't be installed in longer lengths. Now, if you remember from our design calculations that we can in fact put gutters in that are 12 meters long, that meant that a new gutter design was needed, right? So here comes the high front gutters. And what the high front gutters do is that because the front is a lot higher, you can install a very long gutter with adequate fall, and the front of the gutter is still high enough to catch the water that runs off the roof. And that's why the high front gutters became really popular. Now, the initial high front gutters had no overflow slots at the front. And that then caused a problem because the water couldn't overflow the front of the gutter. And as a result, what happened is that every time you had heavy rain, the water would overflow the back of the gutter and could cause damage in the eaves. And then the code designers came along and said, no, you can't have high front gutters without adequate overflow provisions. So the gutter manufacturers had a bit of a think. They said, okay, we come up with this idea, we'll put a slot along the front of the gutter, and that is our overflow provision. So the slot along the front of the gutter is lower than the back of the gutter. So when the water fills up, it comes out the overflow holes first. So that's overflow provision. Now the problem with the overflow slots is sometimes they're not big enough, because if you make the slots too big, they look kind of ugly. So they kept the slot small, and if the slot's not big enough, then it doesn't comply with the code. There's not enough allowance to let the water overflow the front. So then you've got to add in another allowance to have the water overflow the back of the gutter. You need to have a gap between the back of the gutter and the front face of the fascia. That little gap will provide you with what they call a continuous overflow provision. The water will overflow the back of the gutter and then dribble down this gap. Now, if you've got a gutter that's got internal stiffness or internal brackets, the back of the gutter is held tight against the fascia. So you've lost that gap. So the downside of having the internal brackets on eaves gutters is, one, it'll catch all the leaves in the gutter to prevent water from getting to the downpipe. And the second thing is that now, because you haven't got a gap between the back of the gutter and the front of the fascia, water can't overflow that little gap. And that's the reason why when we do our gutters, we prefer to install external brackets. Now, the external brackets means that the brackets are external to the gutter sits on the bracket. And because there's the thickness of the bracket behind the gutter, and also the protrusion of the fasteners that will secure the bracket to the fascia, that gap there is usually sufficient to provide overflow along the back of the gutter. So now you've got provision for overflow at the back of the gutter, you've got provision for overflow along the front of the gutter through the overflow slots, and now you don't have any protrusions that trap leaves in the gutter and stop water from getting to the downpipes. And to close this video off, what if you've got a house that's got the traditional low front gutters and you're thinking about replacing some of your gutters? Now, the easy thing is, if you replace all the gutters, obviously you'll go to the modern look, the high front slotted quad gutters. But what if you've got a fairly large roof, you've got a lot of gutters, and you've only got one section that is not working? Maybe it's been ponding water and it's rusty. The rest of your gutters are quite good, and you're thinking, why don't I just replace one section of gutter? How do I go about doing that? Well, we've come up with a compromise solution on one of the properties that we're working on, and in this particular property there are a lot of gutters and only certain sections need to be replaced. They've got the old style low front gutters, and what we proposed to them was we would replace the rusty gutters, only 20% of their gutters, with the newer high front slotted gutters. Now obviously the two gutters are of a different profile, they don't quite fit together. The majority of the gutter profile is almost the same. The only difference is the front. One's low front and one's high front. So the solution we came up with was we would replace the gutters to a corner. Could either be an external corner or an internal corner. And at that particular corner, we would then carry the new gutter to the corner angle. So from that corner onwards, you'll have one side of the corner having the existing low front gutter, the other side of the angle having the newer high front gutter. So at the corner, we have done the transition. Now you might ask, why do we do this? Well, we've always got to think about the future, right? Because in the future, if you've replaced only some of your gutters, the other gutters in 5-10 years time may need replacing. And in 5 or 10 years time, when you do replace those gutters, you really want to replace them with the newer version, with the high front gutters. And now if we replace the rusty sections with the high front gutters, And in another 5-10 years time, we replace the other sections. We've got high fronts put in, and in 5 or 10 years time, we'll also put high fronts in. So we don't have to take the existing replaced gutter away, that stays in place and everything all marries in. So this is one way of future-proofing your gutter install. We can install sections of high front gutter and marry that into your existing low front gutter. And in the future, when you decide to replace the rest of the gutters, they can all become high front gutters and it all marry in.